Hello and welcome back to Ruben Uncut. Today I'm here with good my good old anonymous friend who's just off camera. This blur here is his shoulder. But my friend Gato, who at this current time prefers to remain anonymous. It's all good. But he's here with me. Say hi, Gato.
Hi, everybody.
And today we're here to make fun of one of our favorite people, to make fun of Bill Maher. Because I saw a little bit of a clip of Bill Maher talking to wrestlers. And we both, we both, we it's got two things that both me and Gato like there, which is wrestlers and Bill Maher being a douche. So we're excited to see exactly what's going to be going on here. Any thoughts before we get into this, guy?
Just looking at who's in there. Is it Roddy Piper, Sting, Madusa's there too? Huh.
Yeah, I think there might be.
I think Sting was still doing drugs at the time, so he might get a little short with Bill Maher too.
Did him and Bill Maher do similar kinds of drugs or different kinds of drugs?
That Sting?
Yeah, no.
I think Sting just did like pills and coke and stuff.
Oh, okay. Bill's, as far as I'm aware, is more of a stoner type.
What?
Fuck off, Google. Spying on us.
It's Bixby.
Well, that's what they call it, Bixby.
Yeah, that's the Android version of Siri.
Also, stop assigning the power button to your AI companions. That's annoying, phone companies. It's very annoying. All right, but let's just get into this here. Let's see what's going on with, or what was going on with, and what we have to assume is a pre 9/11 clip.
How you doing, bro? For those of you who don't recognize Sting, there's here with the. Okay.
He looks good, huh?
Yeah.
He looks good painted up,
I made
really.
him talk.
You're gonna go there already.
All right.
You should see him with long hair.
I can't get you to shut up, Sting. I'm gonna have to throw you over there. Please don't put your chairs down.
He didn't do that to my.
This is the crowd doing that, by the way. Sting doesn't seem too bothered by it.
I think Sting is just playing into it as a bit right now, or at least that's what it looks like.
I thought we were going to talk on this show.
You know, we are going to talk. I couldn't get the thing to shush.
You had to flush the body Heenan down twice.
So I think what's happening here is that the action figure is some type of talking action figure.
Yeah.
And the thing is that him and the people there apparently can hear it, but it doesn't sound like the mics were picking it up. Because I don't know, I didn't hear it. Did you hear an action figure talk?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I heard anything either.
Don't hit me. That's my main first thing. Okay, first of all, thank you for doing our sketch with us. You were very funny. I'm glad you can laugh at yourselves, and you can. That's nice to see, because I have been watching.
Oh, there's some kind of sketch they did for his show before this. Oh, no. We might have to try and find that after this.
Yeah.
A lot of wrestling lately in preparation for the show, and there is a lot of wrestling to watch. And I give you guys props because you guys get ratings I couldn't get if I had Monica Lewinsky and the Pope on this show.
Okay, so it's post Bill Clinton blowjob. So it's either very late 90s or like very early 2000s. Very bad.
So,
Well, thank you.
absolutely. But my first question is, the audience, your audience, they're in on the joke, right?
So is your audience.
So is your audience.
So is your audience, man.
Yeah, but
Okay, how do we think they're going to feel about that question?
Have they talked at all before this, or is this? Because they're probably annoyed with them already. I would be.
I mean, they've apparently at least communicated enough to do this sketch that we haven't seen. But like, I think Bill Maher, like, I think what's actually happening here so far, I think what's going to happen is that Bill Maher has used the word a joke.
Yeah, that's
and like this language makes sense for him as a comedian. Like from his perspective, you would look at it as the audience being in on the quote unquote joke, but they're not going to look at. But that would be like calling a magician's magic trick a joke. like it's not it's language that is only ever going to be respectable to a comedian. If you call anyone else's art form that, they're going to be like, wait, what the fuck you talking about? What do you mean in on the joke? Do you think my performance is a joke? We already know they're going to get mad at him. That's the gist of the clip. So
this is like this. It's like the end of the time period where wrestlers would actually like assault people for saying things like that to them on talk shows. Bill Maher got lucky with the time period there. They had just gotten over letting wrestlers assault people.
Come on.
No, I mean, I want to have this frank discussion. But
Because the correct terminology is kayfabe. Does he
kayfabe?
Kayfabe. Okay.
Yeah.
So the question should be like, does the audience do they understand kayfabe or not or something to that?
You know, this show, politically incorrect, means we never tell a lie. I tell every guest that. I don't care what you have to say. You don't have to be funny. You don't have to be anything except honest.
But there isn't really a joke. I mean, it's not a joke.
We're a target.
Yeah.
We're already a joke.
Yeah, are you
No,
commenting?
when I say in on the joke.
No, what joke? Tell us, what's the joke?
No.
What joke?
There.
So what you're trying
joke?
to say is,
Okay.
Define.
Okay. When I say in on the joke, I mean that people know that you're not really beating each other up.
okay, we got a
Oh,
long.
yeah, you
okay,
stop
we
right there.
30-minute show?
Yes,
Yeah, at least.
sure, yeah.
I know everybody for
Come
a
on.
long time.
Let's be
Listen,
real.
wait a second, but you consider that a joke, do you?
No, it's a phrase. In on the joke means that you know that you're watching it with a sense of irony. I think in the old days.
I don't think I understand what he's saying, but I don't think this defense is going to go well.
Yeah,
Like,
not
especially not like implying that people watch wrestling ironically, like because that's like a third layer to watching it.
at this time period, like these wrestlers trained back when, like, it basically your first day of training was just getting beat up for hours. And then like the hazing rituals they used to do to each other back then. So like they are way in on wrestling. But like the words that he chose that make them angry, because it's like, no, what I have experienced is not a joke.
I mean, and this is also like one of the misconceptions that comes out of like people saying that like wrestling is fake.
Yeah, because it hurts.
Yeah, no, like that's the thing. It's that like when you say it, you need to be clear about what you're trying to say about wrestling. Because the truth is like if someone choke slams you, they just choke slammed you. That's most wrestling moves in wrestling are basically real. I mean, I will say like they're clearly pulling their stripes. I will say that, like,
usually,
I mean, like, there are lots of incidents where a wrestler actually punches a guy in the face in the ring, because they're pissing him off or something. But like, as someone who studied karate, I know what punches look like and how to follow through with that stuff. And like, when I watch wrestling, it's very clear to me. It's like, oh, they're slapping each other. They're intentionally doing glancing blow punches, where it just sort of bounces off of you. And that's because if you actually started punching people, like all the time, full force, like kicks and punches, wrestling matches would get out of control really fast.
Yeah.
Because like, you may notice that wrestling matches last significantly longer than MMA matches. And there's a reason for that. It's because once you start hitting people, you run out of energy fast on both sides, the person punching and the person getting hit. But wrestlers do get hurt, and this stuff they do is very physical. All right.
They watch wrestling in a different way. I think today's audience watches wrestling and they are in on the joke. That's not an insult.
So what you're trying to say is what, I mean, people are just dying for this.
I take it as an insult, too.
I do, too.
I mean,
but they're dying to find out, hey, wrestling's fake.
Then you're telling me that you're really hitting each other?
No.
The sound of the chair is real, okay? We are entertainment, but when a metal chair cracks your back, that's not fake.
That
When
can't
somebody
be a
throws
metal
you from... It's a
Yes,
metal...
yes. You know what? I'm
There's
so
never a bruise on any of you.
Baloney, you got it.
That is not true.
Yeah, they
is-
absolutely do have bruises all over them all the time. This is usually their gear covers it.
I will say Sting is handling this very well.
Yeah.
Like he's being very calm and like he's explaining it well. Like he understands the difference. Oh, hi, Cat. He understands like the difference of what's of like what it means to whether or not wrestling is fake or real. Like essentially, you get people doing it head in the head with chairs. That's real.
Yeah, back then, yeah.
That is a real thing. There's a way to do it so you don't get hurt as bad. But yet that is real.
Wait a minute. Look at this. No.
Take it off the belt. Take it off the belt.
Metal hip.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna move the image here so we can take a look. Yep, there's Rowdy. Oh my God, I can't say his name anymore. What happened? Roddy Piper is showing Bill Maher his hip surgery because wrestling will fuck up your body.
I believe that might be the leather jacket that he got stabbed in at one point, too. So
Nice. Have you ever seen? Everyone's seen They Live, but have you ever seen Hell Comes to Frogtown?
I have not.
It's a really weird movie. It's like an 80s like raunchy sci-fi B movie where Roddy Piper is like this men who are fertile men have become extremely rare. And so Roddy Piper is one of those men. So like this government of mostly women like essentially like conscripts him into like having to like go around and copulate with women. And if he doesn't, they put a device on him that'll blow off his junk. But they end up like essentially like going to this place called Frogtown where these mutant frog people live. That is the movie. And rescue a bunch of these women who are being kept there as sex slaves. It's a weird movie, but yeah, no, it stars Roddy Piper. I mean, like, it's not the classic that They Live is, but like, it's kind of hilariously weird. And it's got tits in it, you know, if that's your bag. Although, like, it is also a weird movie because I should warn people, like, it's like it does not like most of the movie. It does not feel like most encounters in the movie do not feel like Roddy wants to be part of them. Like he does not. It's like it is clear that he is not. His consent is coerced, is what I'm saying. So just a heads up, if anyone wants to see the movie, that's the thing.
Broken wrist. See that wrist? 7 years it's been broken. Owen Hart, dead. Why don't you go tell Mrs. Hart what a joke it is, huh? Oh, it's just a phrase, right? You want me to be truthful with you? Huh,
Okay.
champ?
I saw you hit somebody crack somebody with a baseball bat. A baseball bat.
That is correct.
Over on his head and his back.
And leave it to the pros. That's all I'm saying. Kids, don't do that at home. Well, I know how to do
Bill,
it.
Bill,
Well,
Bill.
yeah,
I know how to do it.
No, really, look, no. Wrestlers are wonderful people.
I'm not denying
No,
that.
we are actors. We are stunt people.
Okay.
We are gymnasts, all
Now-
in one. We are a / sports entertainment.
But
we
we're
are
not
in
a
an industry.
joke.
We are in an industry by ourselves. We are very unique people. And it's the mystique which carries people today and why they are watching wrestling and why we are #1 ratings on Monday night more than NFL football. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's all. That all may very well be true, but that's not getting to what I'm asking, which is what I'm saying is when you crack somebody over the head with a bat, you're telling me that's a real bat, and that's some.
They're real bats, right?
I think Sting used the bat as like his weapon for once he started going from like the Crow. So that's what they're talking about.
No, I get that. I
But
get
yeah,
that.
it was an
I just
actual
want,
bat.
I just wanted to confirm that because having watched wrestling, I feel like they're real bats. They don't look like prop bats.
Yeah,
I've seen people use prop bats in movies, and if you look closely, you can see that they are rubber.
Yeah, Sting just used like a aluminum bat a lot of the time, and then like kids would make that sound when he hit stuff, so that way he could do a thing where he swings and misses, and you hear like this really loud ding. It's like, okay, what is it? But yeah, he was.
Yeah, no.
I it was. They're still worked hits. He's not actually just because you could kill somebody with a baseball bat. So it's like saying leave it to the pros.
I'm confident that Sting is going to confirm this.
Yeah. Even though, like, I am also surprised that Sting is not doing any gimmicky stuff at all. Like, he's not dressed in black even. He doesn't have his face paint on. He's smiling.
I was gonna say he's coming off pretty great.
Yeah, because Crow Sting was supposed to be like a pouty anti-hero.
Yeah, no.
And
like it. Like he seems like, in comparison to like Bill and Roddy, he looks like this very mature, respectable person.
Someone could live through that?
No. Obviously, I'm not going to insult you or anybody out there watching or this audience here. You can't crack somebody over the head with a baseball bat and they're going to live and everything's going to be hunky-dory.
What did I say? We're stunt people. They're stunts.
No, yeah, we know how to do
props.
it. We know how to do it. I mean, I could take this bat or a bat and whack you right now and well,
A real
You gotta
bat.
know
we
how
could
to
make
take
it work.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta know how to take the hit.
A real bat. So that's
A
a
real
real bat
bat.
you have?
A real bat.
Yes.
You can take a real bat.
A
can't
baseball bat, a wooden
Yes,
baseball
sir.
bat that a real baseball player
Yes,
would
sir.
use?
Yes, I use a real bat.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you have to know how to take the
we
hit.
should
You
have
have to know
brought
how
one. We
to
could have showed
fall.
them.
And that's
Yeah,
what we're all
then
about.
give us a bat and we'll show you.
Somebody will
bat?
produce a bat.
You know,
you got
we've got
people
to
out
take a
there.
commercial.
We got a bat with
I
us?
wish we had more time in this segment to do the bat stunt.
I once heard Samuel L. Jackson give this talking about like working with stunt people, and he made this movie called like I think it's like Formula 57 or something. It's about drugs. But essentially, while he was working on the movie, he said like, oh yeah, and it was he said it was like a Hong Kong stunt crew. He said, and which meant that they do it with like real shit. He's like they got real golf clubs. Normally, I'm in a movie, they're gonna hand me a rubber golf club. So like I almost want Bill Maher to have some stunt people on his show. I mean, I guess he kind of is right now. First show.
Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher, brought to you by Ford.
Join us Monday when our guests will be Martin Short, Donny Osmond, Bob Enyart, and Armin Brock.
Okay, we are obviously talking about wrestling now. Sting, you mentioned that kids, you looked into the camera and said, kids, don't try this. Let's talk about that, because you obviously are an idol to kids. You're one of the biggest stars in wrestling. You have a doll.
Okay, so this next part I have seen none of. Like that other part I've seen a little bit of, but this next part I do not have any idea what's going to happen. I just wanted to say. But like it sounds like he's going to try and like needle them with like the controversies of like children hurting each other. Would be my guess is what's about to happen from that sentence.
Which I only threw because I couldn't get it to shut up. You guys are so sensitive. Okay. But
Hey, I haven't said a word. I'm not.
That's true. That's true.
You don't, Bobby. I'm surprised he has, honestly. That's all he got hired to get it talking.
Insensitive?
no,
I just don't
sensitive.
like it here.
You just don't like
No,
it.
I just.
Okay. But
I see you got Springer's audience.
actually, I think you guys got Springer's audience, or actually, he's trying to poach yours. I mean, you guys did that well before he did. Okay, anyway.
What do you think Bill was implying there? What do you think Bill was implying about their audience?
I mean, at the time, like late '90s WWF audience, like I've watched back some of the old Attitude Era Raws and whatnot, and it didn't age very well. A lot of it, because like, oh man, like the signs in the crowd would be just like, oh my god. Usually they'd be fine, but every now and then it's like, oh, there's a slur.
Oh my god.
So yeah, and the booking was taking notes from shit like Jerry Springer and Judge Judy and stuff like that.
Okay, so there is some basis to this, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so there's some overlap.
Okay, so you don't think he's just being condescending about their audience's intelligence?
He still is.
That's fair.
He's just because he's Bill Maher and he thinks he's smart.
Oh, Bill Maher. If only there had been someone at some point in your life to put you in your place.
Dude, yeah, can you imagine if Bill Maher and like, I don't know, Dennis Miller or something in the same room, just taking turns pretending to be smart?
Yeah, no,
That would be horrible.
like Bill, like, oh man, I don't think about. I've already forgotten his name. You literally just said it.
Like
The
Dennis
conservative
Miller?
guy, Dennis Miller. Yeah, fucking Dennis Miller. Like, I don't think about Dennis Miller very often, but like when I do think about Dennis Miller, the number one thing I can always think about is how ridiculously stupid he was at football. Like when he got to be a football announcer person, because like Dennis Miller is so obsessed with being big brained that it didn't occur to him to like say shit that would be in his audience's roundhouse, like wheelhouse. Like it didn't make like he would make like quote he would like make references to like historical events and like classic literature, and it'd be like, Dennis, what the fuck are you doing? Like, how are you this smart but this stupid at the same time? Do you think the majority of the football people know what the fuck you're talking about?
I promise you, people like people that watch football don't care.
Now, football has a large enough audience, and I'm sure some of you people are fine and intelligent.
Now there's tons of nerdy people that watch football and like keep track of like stats.
No. Plenty of neurodiverse people trying to relate to their dads. That's what we're talking about. No, but anyways, where was I? Oh, right, Dennis Miller. Dennis Miller also sucks. I would love to see him and Bill Maher get into an argument. That would be fun. Hey, Bill, bring Dennis Miller on your Oh no, but they wouldn't get into a fight now.
Yeah,
they probably agree about everything.
Yeah, that would probably be the birth of a new podcast.
Bill Maher would have to actively be smoking pot to make Dennis Miller get all like fed up or something. Wait, does Dennis Miller smoke pot? I don't know.
Maybe he used to.
He's a comedian, so it's hard to tell. Like Tim Allen, when he was a stand-up comedian, he fucking got arrested for coke smuggling.
Yeah.
So like it's hard to tell. Sometimes being a Republican comedian doesn't mean you don't do drugs. Fucking, yeah. So hard to tell. it's weird when comedians are Republicans. You don't know what to make of them. And actually, a lot of the straight edge comedians I've heard about seem to be more liberal. I don't know what's going on.
What do you say to people who would argue that kids adore you, look up to you, and when they watch wrestling, they see a world where every conflict gets resolved by violence, and that's not a good thing for society?
Aha.
Well, wait.
How
go ahead.
about Popeye cartoons? Here's a guy that doesn't speak English well, me Olive, rips open a can of spinach and then knocks out a big guy. That's how they end the show.
That's a
Here's
cartoon.
Olive has a kid. Never mention that she's married or anything.
Wrestling
or
has
where's the
cartoons.
boyfriend.
But
But here's Olive with a kid and Popeye's beating up some other guy named Bluto.
But that's a cartoon.
Right.
I feel like Bobby's been sitting on that Popeye rant for a while,
Oh,
just waiting for an excuse.
Someone's gonna bring up how wrestling influences children and it's violent. Well, I've got one in the can right here.
Popeye. I'm surprised you went with Popeye when you had Tom and Jerry looking him right in the face.
I mean, the reality is that we've never not had a culture that showed children violence. There's never been a culture that has hidden violence from children. It's just not a thing. It's in everything. There is violence throughout all of culture and media.
Even the Smurfs was violent.
Yeah, that guy was trying to eat them.
Yeah, he'd like destroy their village and stuff.
Yeah. And like even before like these types of things, like classic literature was full of violence. The Count of Monte Cristo is a fucking revenge thriller. In case you didn't know, I mean, like it was Old Boy before Old Boy. So like you can't. And historically, there just used to be a lot more violence in life. Like violence was part of just living. It used to be like a lot more people in this country used to hunt their own food, and that means you're having violent encounters with animals. Violence has always been here, Bill. Why are you worried mostly about wrestling?
Right. That's a cartoon.
Yeah, and that's what kids watch.
Okay, how about
What
Lethal
about
Weapon?
NASCAR? What about NASCAR?
Lethal Weapon.
Hey, do
Lethal
you ever
Weapon?
feel like when you get done watching NASCAR that you just want to floor to 100 miles an hour and get
I
out
want
of
to beat
there?
up Jeff Gordon.
Kids do.
I don't.
The kid.
Or NFL.
I'm
That's
too
violence.
busy watching wrestling to watch NASCAR. But if I did,
But I'm saying it's the same thing. Kids get the feeling that they want to get in. I mean, when they watch wrestling, yes, they go home and they feel like they want to run around and jump around and hurt their brother or something like that. That's just that adrenaline at that moment. Just like when I go to NASCAR, I feel like I want to floor it right when I leave. When I watch football, I just want to tackle my husband, something like that. It's the same thing. There's violence everywhere, Bill.
okay, well, right, especially here. But there is, and
Okay, I rate that one-liner as a 4 out of 10. I know you're trying to do off the cuff stuff, Bill, but like
he's trying desperately to save face. Like, no, I'm the cool guy. Everyone else is the dumb. I'm the cool guy.
yeah.
And he's not. He's not funny or cool. So it's failing. So the more Bill Maher I watch, I just think, did people actually think this guy was cool, or was he just like a idiot and everyone watched him just to see how stupid he'd sound that day? Like, what's Bill gonna say this time?
Well, I mean, the thing is that there's people who are there are people out there who are not well thought enough to realize that being contrarian doesn't automatically make a person cool. I think that's part of it. Like he's just a contrarian. Bill Maher is just a contrarian. Like in the 90s, it was easy for him to pull this politically incorrect thing because it let him like make fun of all sides of the argument. And then at some point, as culture shifted and changed, and it became more progressive in certain areas, he just it was harder for him to like get attention by being or doing those things. I think, oh, and also he smoked weed at a time where society was very like, oh, you better not be smoking the weed.
Yeah.
That's probably what tricked people into thinking he was cool.
Yeah.
Fun fact, people, in the 90s, media was saturated with messaging about how smoking weed made you a bad person. Just so you're aware. The 90s really hammered that into you. It's like, no, dicks smoke weed. Now, to be fair, I've talked to head shop owners, and in the 90s, dicks kind of did smoke weed.
And you know, it used to be that they resolved everything in the ring, but now wrestling has a lot of plots that happen outside the ring.
They used to have horse and buggy too, but now they have cars with 4 wheels.
Where are you going with this one, Bill? The storytelling got more complex. Like, what are we talking about? Where are you going with this question? What the fuck are you talking about?
Look at his fucking face. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He's like looking at something pleadingly.
No, this is actually like, this is a great. This is a great shot right here. Just this look on his face.
Like, this isn't going the way I thought it was gonna.
Like, it's, yeah. Oh, Bill. Such a weird question. I don't think Bill Maher is actually that creative. I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Not
Things
really
change.
a tracking analogy, but let me finish.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, doesn't that lead kids to the message that it's not just in the ring where violence solves problems, it's everywhere. It's in the parking lot. It's backstage.
It's with mommy and daddy in the
Mommy and
bedroom
daddy
at home.
Mom
We
and
have
daddy
nothing to
at
do.
home.
Well, do
Mom
the
and
parents
Dad.
allow the children, after watching Lethal Weapon, to let the kid go out and throw a hand grenade? Or one of Schwarzenegger's
Well,
movies?
Lethal Weapon has a NC-17
But people get killed in those
rating
We are
on it.
TV.
Lethal Weapon does not have an NC-17 rating. That is not the rating of that movie, Bill Maher. It is an R-rated movie. If that movie was rated NC-17, it would have had the world would have had a different reaction to it. Because only half the people would have gone to see it that saw it. And also, that doesn't mean anything, Bill. Wrestling had like a TV 14 rating or something. It might have been TV PG at this time. I'm not actually sure. One of them.
14. And
Okay.
the rest of the programs are PG TV.
Okay, but
Okay, wait, no, they just clarified. It's PG. They had TV PG at this time. Although she may have said something with maybe
you're not supposed to be watching Lethal
Yeah,
Weapon.
they're WCW people. WCW wasn't as edgy as WWF was.
PG TV.
Okay, but kids are not supposed to be watching Lethal Weapon. They are.
That's why it starts with mom and dad at home.
It's in the
You
It's
think-
the
you think
mom and dad that controls the
And
environment.
you think
to
the
watch
mom and dad should say, "Don't watch your show"?
I didn't say that.
You said it starts
I said
with
it
mom.
starts with mom and dad at home. If you have a well-adjusted child at home that has a base, a foundation through mom and dad,
Or
they
just
can
a mom,
watch
or
a
just a
show
dad. It
like
doesn't have to be
wrestling.
both.
They can watch the aggressiveness on football, basketball, baseball, any sport you can imagine, and say, well, not everybody acts that way. That's not real, or I'm not going to do that at school.
You
But the
think
kid that's not adjusted or has problems up here for whatever reason,
Well, it's not mom and dad much anymore. There's a lot of single families out there. A woman has to work 2 jobs. A husband has to work 2 jobs. They're not home to teach their family. They don't
that's
sit and
all
have
I'm
dinner
saying.
anymore.
I'm not
they
taking
watch
pot
TV.
shots
Everybody's
against
different
mom and
place.
dad.
Oh, I'm taking pot shots at them.
no,
Sure.
I mean, they can,
Bob,
it's a
They're not
rough
here to
life
defend
out
themselves.
there.
Let's nail them.
You guys just like to fight. It doesn't matter with each other or mom and dad. Or,
But that's what we do for.
he was literally about to say the exact opposite thing that Madusa was trying to clumsily say a minute ago.
Yeah.
It's like at first you hear them and you're like, okay, they're saying the same thing, but then you're like, oh wait, no, they're saying the opposite. They're saying the opposite thing.
Bobby's going on. Why don't we eat dinner as a family anymore? This is what, like 98 or 99 probably. And people are still complaining about it.
Yeah, and Medusa's over here trying to stand up for
Yeah,
single parents.
and equating everything to race cars and monster trucks because that's what she quits wrestling to do.
Oh yeah, that's what she.
That's what she. Yeah, that's why she stopped wrestling so she could drive monster trucks.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's another type of theatrical experience.
Well, what do you
Yeah.
do for aggression?
Yeah.
You know what? This show,
What do you do
Is-
before the show?
I masturbate. But that's
I was just gonna say.
common knowledge.
Oh, Bill Maher talking about masturbating.
I think I'm because he can't say what he really does.
I mean, I would believe that Bill Maher masturbates before things.
Yeah, he probably does it all the time. He's talking.
Because in a certain way, Bill Maher is just a masturbator.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean that in the literal sense that he likes to masturbate, because I'm sure he does. You don't marry a porn star if you don't like to. I mean, he didn't marry them. He dated porn stars if you're not a masturbator. But I mean, like, intellectually, he is a masturbator.
Yeah.
That's what this whole show is. Bill Maher masturbating. He wants to have these conversations and get into these ideas so that he can assert his own masturbatory prowess. Like, here's the thing, like he chose these questions on purpose. He knows that these are the questions that are provocative to ask the wrestlers. He knows, because he hasn't asked them. I haven't heard him ask one softball or just funny question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not asking to learn about wrestling. He's asking them to defend wrestling to him. Is what's happening.
We heard that.
Yeah, it's been
He told me that. He told that.
We heard that.
That's why I'm so relaxed and smooth on the end. Anyway, you ought to try it, and maybe you wouldn't hit each other with so many chairs. But the point is,
Wouldn't
Well,
make half the
just
money
pat me
either.
on the back. I'd rather not shake hands if you don't mind.
Bobby Heenan rules.
Yeah.
He's the best.
With the exception of his attitude towards single parents, he is the best. Bobby's lighting you up with these comebacks, man. Bill, you're gonna have to pick up your game. Also, none of them were surprised. None of them were surprised. What are you gonna say?
I just noticed all of them are laughing at Bobby Heenan's awesome comeback, and I'm worried that Bill might think they are laughing at what he initially said, which wasn't funny. And then we will now see if he misreads this situation entirely and gets an unwarranted sense of confidence going forward in the remaining 5 minutes.
okay,
Oh, dear.
all right.
Yeah.
We've all had a good laugh at that. But
I mean, the last thing we want you to do is jerk us around.
Yeah.
Bill, you're getting schooled by a wrestler on your own comedy show.
Like commentary. I don't think Heenan even wrestled. He was just a manager and a commentator.
Yep, no. He's out comedying you. Do better.
no wonder they call him the Brain.
The brain. Yeah.
You think I'm
He's the
stupid?
man.
No. Oh. Very good, Bobby. You know what? You guys have me. I don't know what's real and what's not anymore. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Roddy Piper reaches in for the handshake. Well, now I know where this hand's been. I'm kidding, Roddy. I'm kidding. Don't come back from the grave to kill me. Wow. Okay, so they had 3 commercial breaks. 5 minutes. Basically, they had 5 minutes of talking, then commercials. Wait, no, not 3 commercials break. That's not. They had 2 commercial breaks. That's what I was trying to say. They had 3 segments. Wait, what is this? Favorite pro wrestler / GOP candidate: George W. the Brain Bush, 28%. Rowdy Steve Forbes, 33%. Orrin the Hatchet Hatch, 39%. interesting. Is this like a? I wonder if this was call in or if this was. Oh no, it's ABC.com. So this is an early internet poll interaction with a fan base. It very ahead of its time.
There's your doll again. I tell you, I only threw it because it wouldn't shut up, but I'm putting it.
They were blurring its tummy. Did you notice that? They were blurring the action figure's tummy. What's that about?
Down here, and I'm plugging it for you. Not that you need it. I think when 1999 will be remembered in entertainment, there'll be Pokemon, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and wrestling. Those are the three. And
okay, we now know for sure it's 1999.
Yeah.
Pokemon, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and wrestling. You forgot the Matrix, Bill, you son of a bitch.
Entertainment phenomenons. Now, my question is, for wrestling, there was a golden age in the 50s, and now, again, why now? What is your theory why it's so big now?
I would put the 50s bigger than the 80s.
No.
I feel like
they were still important though, because like that's like Muhammad Ali went to wrestling shows all the time when he was a kid. And that's where he got the idea, I'm going to be just a loud asshole. Because he's watching wrestlers do promos.
Genius. The influence of wrestling.
Well, I believe from the 50s, they used to shoot it in the television studios. You know, like 25 people in there, and
Like
they shoot
this.
an hour show.
Like
Yeah, like this, but there was a place in Pittsburgh that used to have 20 people, and they used to draw faces on the back of the curtains to make it look like they had 50 people.
But what's different about
I'm getting to that.
1999?
Because there's different television now. Everything, music has changed, movies has changed, society has changed. The wrestlers are in better shape. They're bigger, they're stronger. You got pyro now. It's like, our show is like Animal House with pyro. I mean, and it's
there's
just
so many. It's, yes.
So in Bobby's world, everything in the world is getting better, except parents and families.
Yeah. You need to have dinner together more. Suburban family dinners are never awkward. That never happens.
It used to be just so regional. Just small little outlaw groups
Right.
all over the country with little regional TV stations.
So it got
now
organized.
it's big. I mean, we're not nationwide, we're worldwide.
What it got was monopolized, Bill. It got monopolized.
Yeah.
Like right now, they are the upstart rivals, essentially, to the evil empire of Vince McMahon.
And that upstart, but yeah, rivals.
Oh, you're-
Because like WCW been around since like the 80s, I think.
Well, that's right, because there was that one they had.
Yeah, 'cause
There
Hulk
was
Hogan-
an NES game. I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember playing it. What I remember is a comic book ad for that game.
Yeah, because there was a phase where like someone would get fired from WWF and immediately show up on WCW. Like Hulk Hogan did that. Like Bret Hart did that.
I guess 80s was really just the beginning of them slowly dominating.
Yeah, that's when it started to become like a pop culture thing. Because Vince did WrestleMania and had like movie stars come to my events. They still do that now. Like every fucking big pay, anytime there's even a slightly famous person in the audience at a Raw or SmackDown taping, they put the camera on. Like, look who's there.
It blew my mind when I saw Aretha Franklin singing in that old WrestleMania video we watched the other day.
Yeah, she was in a couple, I think.
Wrestling's huge, guys. Huge.
We do pay-per-views. We do 12 a month, and we do live TV. So
12 pay-per-views a month. Jesus. Imagine having the dough to pay for all of them.
I think Nitro alone, the live TV,
There's
is
so
really what
many.
set
I
it.
couldn't keep up with all the characters. They just come out one after another. It's like, how do you rise to the top? How do you get to be where you guys are from all those people?
Because you know where, if I may say so, sir, the difference is.
What?
He's going to strike.
Just don't show me your ass again.
Listen, I ain't backstage, man.
What do you think they bleeped down?
He probably just said jacked off because I think Roddy's very, very into how Bill Maher talked about openly about how he jacks off a lot. It's like
Rowdy Piper. Well, it's like you said, wrestlers are always horny.
yeah, and they're always they're really horny. They get bored easily.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not dropping my pants in front of other men, but go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, Bill, calm down. Calm down, Bill. That night, you just sound catty.
Like, well, you're lame and you get dressed with dudes. So does every athlete.
He was talking about him showing him his hip earlier,
Yeah.
and now he's just like trying to make it into a gay thing, and it's like, come on, Bill. That's lame. I mean, I guess it's 1999. This is back when people actually still thought like calling people gay was funny, I guess.
Well, how'd you get the job?
We got to hear that with full context.
Well, and I'm not dropping my pants in front of other men, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, how'd you get the job?
And Roddy, now it's not any higher brow, but he does flip him around on him in a very strong manner. Oh, Bill, you're getting owned.
You know what it is?
I beat up the powers that be.
Yeah.
Who are they anyway? Who are those powers that be?
They're your old agents.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about now, Bill? What do you mean, who are the powers that be? What are you going with this?
Well, there's a thing that there's a lack of respect that comes. You know, wrestling is a great form of entertainment for the family. 30 years. Now listen now. 30 years I've been fighting pro. I started WrestleMania. I started Starrcade. I watched this gentleman here rise to fame. Bobby Heenan's been solid in our business forever. This lady here has brought a crowd in. Why? Because we give our lives. The reason I took my pants off, I have a titanium hip for 5 years now. My rotator cuff is broken, et cetera, et cetera. We got guys that go out there and they pour their hearts out. And promoters take advantage of them, and A&E does something. Wrestling's phony. And if some wrestler goes on there and says they do this and that, but you never see that wrestler on top wrestling main event anywhere, all he's doing is prostituting himself on camera and telling a bunch of secrets that are all lies. And when we walk in, we're not appreciated for the athletes and the honest people that we really are. I got 6 kids, you know, and you want to say, you know, first thing you say is it's a joke. And you
No, I
just
never said it was
I've
a
got
joke.
the floor. I've got the floor. As a joke.
He's got the floor.
As a joke. And you didn't mean it bad. You didn't mean it bad. But you know what? We get that everywhere we go. So after a while, you know, it gets old.
Because it's a theatrical event.
No, but
you
what
get
about-
it because
what
there's a
about-
ref who's there sometimes and sometimes he's not.
We're not denying that.
So why can't you
He
accept that?
is.
It's
No, I'm
like
not
a soap
denying it.
opera. Why can't you accept
I
that?
am accepting it.
Sometimes-
I'm asking about the audience. He's not accepting
You are
it.
so sensitive.
You are so sensitive.
Oh, Bill.
He's been roasted by the entire group at least once though.
Yeah, no, Bill, good Lord, man. I don't think Bill's a good interviewer.
He's not.
Like you open, like he fumbled the interview like immediately. Like the very first question, he just went,
Yeah.
and then it threw everything off.
And then that Gene Simmons thing we watched right out of the gate is like fucking like just immediately put his foot in his mouth too. I think that's just what he likes to do.
It's Bill Maher has no sense of like of like how to structure a conversation. like he's just gonna be immediately like,
I feel like Bill Maher got where he is because he was very good at doing the schmoozing thing. You know, the thing Hollywood people do where they meet at fancy restaurants and just take turns talking.
Yeah.
I feel like he was probably really good at that because he's not good at interviewing. He's not that funny. I don't know.
There's a part of me that wants to believe at some point Bill Maher used to be funny, but I would have to go back and watch some of his old stand-up. But like this is 1999. This is way before I decided that I hated Bill Maher. Because there was a part of me that used to be like, okay, Bill Maher seems pretty okay. And then I know it's like, okay, Bill. I mean, I agree with Bill a lot of things, but he's kind of a super huge douche to religious people in a way that's not productive. Okay. And then, like, in the last few years, it's like, okay, Bill Maher's just a contrarian piece of shit. He does not give a fuck. And he is easily drawn into believing nonsense that conservatives just say to him. Like, so much of what he believes is just because he has had conservatives repeat the same bullshit to him over and over and over again. It's annoying. Oh, okay, but we got just under 20 seconds left of this.
We almost had it out before the show. I said, you know, we're more alike than I ever thought. You know, this is sort of mental wrestling is politically incorrect. And I got my fan right. Hi, I'm Bill Maher. Rowdy Roddy Piper would like you to believe that I'm soft on chairs. Well, just look at this. This was confiscated from a 9-year-old boy in Lawrence, Kansas, as he tried to bring it into his elementary school. This is the face of folding chair violence. Well, not the face, but it's bad.
This is a bad sketch already.
Paid for by Mothers Against Folding Chairs.
So, like Bill Maher should not do sketch. Like, because he is too... So, like, he does this thing, like, just from that. Like, it's almost unbelievable that he could fuck up that. Because, like, do you notice how he's too ironic?
Yeah.
How, like, he can't bring himself to resemble a natural human reaction. Like, not even to sell this tiny 20-second, like, bit. Like even in the middle of there, he had like a self-aware, but you know, and it's like, what the fuck, Bill? All you had to do was to act sincerely, like you gave a shit about folding chairs for like less than a minute, and you still couldn't do it. You still couldn't do it. No conviction to your comedy.
England has a lower rate of violent crime than we do, and their policemen don't even carry folding chairs.
Why are people like Bill Maher so afraid of getting hit over the head with a chair? Used properly, a folding chair is no more dangerous than a billy club, a bat with a nail in it, you know, grinding up glass, shoving it down your shorts, you know. Rev, if you're going to regulate folding chairs, why not regulate apple crates? Why not garbage cans? And anything else you can throw a person in the middle over the head with. It's America's ability to do grievous bodily harm, and it's America's right. And it's my freedom that you're taking away from me. You can take away my folding chairs, but you will never take away my freedom.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Like,
dude, that's
like, yeah. Like, it's embarrassing, Bill. Like, even in this opening sketch, you couldn't come down off your little pedestal to commit to being a person who's upset about folding chairs to deliver even remotely any of that in a comedically good way. And then Roddy Piper, oh my God, I can't, just comes on and does it. Like, because he's not afraid to emotionally commit to the thing. But you are. This is, oh my God. Like, okay. Sometimes when I'm doing improv, there are lots of improvisers who improvise like this, like the way that Bill does. And like, I guess you gotta get over yourself. It's like, I mean, I understand a lot of you are doing it because you're emotionally insecure, but Bill has been in show business for too long. He needs to get over himself. So that was convenient with the sketch there. Let's see if
the star of politically incorrect, Bill Maher. Bill's guest tonight from the WCW, Sting, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Madusa.
All right, thank you very much, and welcome to our special wrestling show where we're going to get to the bottom.
Oh, does he have an opening monologue too? Terrific.
Of wrestling. Her signature movie is the German suplex. Her name is the super sexy Madusa, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Madusa.
Hi, nice to meet
coming.
you. Thank you.
Sit right down there. He's won 2 Announcer of the Year awards as the acerba co-host of WCW Monday Nitro. Bobby the Brain Heenan. Bobby. Hey, Bobby.
How you doing, guys?
Good to see you. Thank you very much. The star of John Carpenter's They Live. He's won 21 career heavyweight titles. The Scotsman, Rowdy Roddy Piper, ladies and gentlemen. Rowdy Roddy, good to see you back there. And a 4-time WCW World Heavyweight Champ. He's the star of the TNT original movie Shutter Speed, coming next year. This is his doll. Here he is, Sting. Sting, good to meet you. Okay.
How you doing, bro?
For those of you who don't recognize Sting, there's he with the, okay.
He looks good, huh?
Yeah.
He looks good painted
I
up,
made
really.
him talk.
You're going to go there already.
All right.
You should see him with long hair.
I can't get you to shut up, Sting. I'm going to have to throw you over there. Please don't put your chairs down.
Yep. Okay. All right. So let's go over our thoughts of what we've just witnessed there, Gato. How did it live up to your expectations?
It's pretty much exactly what I expected. I figured it was late enough in the 90s that we didn't have to worry about one of the wrestlers actually getting up and harming him that I'm sure they may have wanted to.
And also, since it was from the 90s, we didn't have to hear Bill Maher talk about vaccines or trans people.
Yeah,
which was a huge plus. Because these are things that Bill Maher doesn't know shit about. And you should shut the fuck up.
He doesn't seem to know a whole lot about wrestling either. And instead of asking the people who do that he is surrounded with, he tries to belittle them and make himself seem more important.
And in fairness, like Bill Maher has like the type of like presence, and he might not even know that he's doing this, to be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is just to the core a pretentious douchebag who cannot help himself but belittle and be douchebaggery to people. Like, that might genuinely be the problem with Bill Maher, is that he can't see it. He has no idea how big of a douche he is. Yeah. I would also agree that it actually was about what I would have expected. To be fair, I did stumble upon like about half of the first third there. But generally speaking, Bill Maher, I had not seen the part where they come back around to Rowdy Roddy Piper there, and because at the end he sort of like grounds it himself at the end there, and I didn't see that coming, but I also wasn't surprised by it either, if that makes any sense. Like, it was a nice turn, but also fairly logical that it went that way. I would say I learned more from the stupid sketch beforehand. Like that was the biggest surprise where I saw that and I was like, oh my god, Bill Maher can't even do a basic sketch. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I actually laughed at Rowdy Roddy Piper's part, but Bill Maher's, I was just like, did he try to like? Was the part about the face improvised? Because it felt wrong. Like it didn't feel like it belonged.
It felt like he was trying to riff there.
Like it just, oh, so bad. So that was so bad. All right, but it was entertaining though. I will say that it was entertaining to see Bill Maher essentially just fumble all over himself, practically piss himself, metaphorically. And well, actually, no, metaphorically, he did piss himself. But I wouldn't have been surprised if at some point he had literally pissed himself. I should have guessed that he might talk about masturbating, but I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. So it catches you off guard, but you're not surprised that it happened.
Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. It's like, oh, well, it's Bill Maher. He's definitely a masturbator. Bill Maher, masturbator. And like, we're not here to judge people for masturbating. I think most people masturbate at some point. But like Bill Maher, to his core, is a masturbator. If you can't understand the difference, well, then I'm sorry, life's just not that black and white. You gotta figure it out for yourself. What does it mean to masturbate? What does it mean to be a masturbator? The answer is Bill Maher. But anyways, all right. Any final thoughts on it?
Not really. Like I said, it's just exactly what I thought was gonna happen. I do like that I noticed a look of fear on Bill Maher's face a little bit, which because fear is rooted in at least some humility. So he wasn't completely soulless yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you were entertained by this. Thank you for tuning in to Ruben Uncut. Please follow on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And also, please look up the YouTube channel, also called Ruben Uncut, but on YouTube. If you would like to contact the show, you can reach out to me at rubenuncut@gmail.com. All right. Well, it's time to say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful whatever, wherever, whenever you are.